What's going on? Boys, thanks to our patrons and Fiverr customers, subscribe to our Patreon free for behind the scenes stuff. Arm yourselves, life stuff. Popular sentiment in the United States recently has been not good. And you know it's bad because you can feel it. More than usual, anyway. I was acquaintances with a dude, fetish, not in the size sense, but rather in the federal sense, who worked at a dollar store and a while ago explained to me how shipments work with this establishment, which is kinda cool. I have a mild logistics chub that's been running for the last 2 years. And over the last few months, their shipment pattern, which they'd held for at least since I knew about it, has been disrupted. And it seems like people are aware something weird has been going on with shipping. It also seems like something weird is going on with food, which connects back to the weird food happenings that were happening a few years ago. But then on top of that, because I'm plugged into the nonprofit sphere, food banks have been in a pretty bad spot lately, which, with everything happening, that should be obvious, but it's different when you get to see it. And I've been monitoring ammo prices. This isn't something I do daily. Well, I've been doing it almost daily recently, but ammunition is something you should keep your eye on. Because Jim has been replaced with some synthetic android, I've needed to work out a way to feel out what's going on. And for me, that's been whatever narratives are getting pushed on social media, mixed with some logistics stuff, ammunition being one of them. But one of the thing, Jim let me know about coronavirus before that really kicked off. And it was fascinating because I remember driving around the city I was in when I was in university with some people and looking for the N95 masks at hardware stores, and they were all sold out everywhere we looked. Right, so some people know. And this was still when stuff was coming out of China, information was coming out of China, which I still have no idea what happened there. Whatever was going on in China was so much worse than what we ended up getting. Anyway, without going crazy, when popular sentiment starts getting negative or even apocalyptic, you look at things like a thermostat. For me, that's been ammunition, because you can track prices like stocks. There's a website called AmmoSeek, and ammunition prices ticked up today. Not a lot, not a crazy amount, which is, I said last week, buy now in case something happens. Right now, really buy now, because they moved, and they moved upward. And these dummies tell you to buy gold and silver and all this shit. My bullets take your gold and silver in a really bad situation. Buy ammunition, buy armor, buy survival stuff, and to get toilet paper and canned food while you can. That's another thing. Almost all the canned food where I am is gone. And not just the vegetables. Spam is a good option. Canned corned beef, that's another good option. Anyway, after finally seeing the ammo prices tick up, I did a little looking into the news. Did you know that large sections of 3 states lost power simultaneously today? Over 10 cities in 3 separate states lost power altogether. That's kinda big news, especially with everything going on today. The collapse porn has been high today, but no one's talking about this huge power outage, multi-state power outage. Nobody's talking about it. And there appear to be legitimate reasons why this happened, and those are probably true, but I don't believe them. Or at least, In these conditions, you can't afford to believe them. It feels like we're building towards something. And maybe we aren't, but ammunition says something is going on, so you may want to take this opportunity to stock up while you can. Get what you need, put together a plan if you don't have one. It never hurts to be prepared, and one of the things about popular sentiment is crowd psychosis is a real thing. So even if nothing is going on in truth, people's belief something is going on can affect you. Now, I have no idea what might actually be going on. It's weird because the typical thing is a bait and switch, one event disguising or covering for another event, but it seems like there are 50 of those going on, and they're all covering for one another. I don't know what we're actually supposed to be paying attention to. I was getting ready for the Goon arc, but maybe we need to be getting ready for the Uneasy arc. And now we will self-soothe by talking about what we've done. It's funny the way homelessness prep doubles in many cases as civil unrest prep. I've been getting everything ready so if I needed to run, I could run. I have ready to go bags of clothes. I have a ready to go sleeping system. I have an okay solar rig that mounts to one of the bags and a bag for my tech shit. I have 3 gallons of water ready to go at all times. I have a bag of canned goods that I'm not sure how long would last me, but it's better than nothing. I have a little problem satchel, handgun, multi-tool, lockpicks, though I'm not any good with them, paracord, lighters, flashlight, pen, notepad. I have gloves and a scarf, and then not in the bag, though they probably should be in some kind of bag. I'm getting obsessed with bags. I have a road atlas, little bitty compass. I have a life straw somewhere. That should be in the fuck out bag, but it's not. I don't have a tent. I should probably get a tent. When you inventory your shit, you realize the assumptions you made but didn't realize you made. I've been assuming I'd be operating out of a vehicle. Well, that's my homelessness plan, is to operate out of a vehicle, so it makes sense, but I should probably put something together in the event that that's not the way things happen. Similarly to magazines, I keep packs of cigarettes all over the place. I keep a portable jumper in my vehicle, but it's not a great one, and maybe that's something I should upgrade. I have a bag to transport my suits safely. I have a spare pair of boots that I should probably break in. Now, my ammunition situation is not as good as I would want it to be. What I would like is one dedicated box that deals with all my firearm shit. And that's not the way it's set up right now. It's relatively well organized, but everything is separate and it's not something that I could move in a hurry. Not that if I were trying to move the full kit, even with everything organized, you'd move it quickly, but still easier to move. I have a chest rig for my elite, and I have a number of... I would really like a battle belt. Batman utility belt ass. But that's not what I have. Instead, I have a number of belt bags, which in good times perfectly fit my tarot cards and other mystical bullshit, just enough space, but in bad times can fit a number of magazines for my handguns. Now, my plate carrier, I'm running a Scarab LT, and I haven't been running it with any sort of armor this entire time. Not that I'm running it, per se. Rather, the way I have it set up, it's more like a chest rig. One of the cool things about the PTR-91, which is the American mongrel G3, is magazines are stupidly cheap. I think I have at least 20 magazines. I have a box of them. And they're so cheap, in fact, when I bought there are these pinchers, right? You play COD, you got the duct tape magazines. There are these clamps that allow you to fit multiple magazines together, sort of like the duct tape thing, but not upside down. And I bought a few of those. I don't remember how many, but it was a few. And a box of magazines, thinking that I would use the clamps on the magazines, but the clamps themselves came with magazines. So we just have more magazines than we need. And that plate carrier has magazines for days. And I'd like to figure out a way to rig up my hung list to it, but we're not there yet. Because again, I've been more homelessness prepping than end of the world prepping. But I have some armor on the way. If I'm remembering correctly, it is the Spartan AR 550 steel with the anti-spall plating and trauma pads. And I was thinking about, I think there are, I know there are bags you can buy additionally to mitigate spalling. Which spalling, I'm assuming you all know what spalling is. This is, our viewership is kind of retarded in a good way. But if you don't know what spalling is, steel plates, when bullets hit steel plates, the bullets fragment, and the fragments can kill you, which would make you think, why steel armor? Well, there are ways to deal with spalling, like this coat, like the bags that I didn't buy. But trying not to get shot. Your monkey brain is weird when you're thinking about survival situations. Yes, it would probably be a much smarter investment to buy the ceramic plates because you can get higher NIJ ratings for less weight, but I've decided to go with steel after learning about these anti-spalling measures because steel can take, I did the best research I could. Ceramic is lighter and good for a few shots. Steel is heavier, but can survive much longer. And the idea of all this, of course, is not to get shot at all. But again, monkey brain, if I'm gonna get shot, I want the thing that can take a lot of shots. And the trauma pads are designed to absorb some of that impact if you get hit with higher caliber rounds or whatever. Armor is scary. Armor is a scary, confusing thing to invest in. It's spooky that there's a market. I wrote this in the notes. I don't remember if I don't think I've posted these notes yet. Maybe I have. But the fact there's an entire market for children's body armor. Scary shit. I recognize part of what they're doing is marketing and selling using your fear. So NIJ 3 Plus is not a real thing, but I watched the videos and NIJ 3 Plus did stop 308, which is what I'm most concerned with. I really don't want to get shot with 308. That's why I bought 308. And next paycheck I'll probably invest in more ammunition and perhaps I'm considering buying some additional armor, maybe at a lower rating, I don't know. I have no... This is what I'm talking about. This is not a situation I ever want to be in. And of course, the best way not to lose a fight is to avoid the fight. But monkey brain, you want to be prepared for a fight if you get forced into one, because of course, whatever you don't prepare for is what will happen. But, the last few months, lots of people have been giving me shit about being hyper vigilant. How ready would you be if some shit happened right now? My position is far from ideal, but I'm equipped to take care of myself to an extent and to support my family to an extent. This is an ugly, nasty world full of evil people, and you should be hypervigilant. Anyway, one of the issues is I haven't trained with my PTR much at all. There isn't a place very close I can practice the sort of shooting I bought the rifle for, which was mid to long range. I think I've shot it one time, one outing, and I didn't do super great with it. I don't have any optics on it because stupid me, when I first bought it, I went with the no Picatinny option because I wanted a rifle that had soul, and it does have soul. I love that rifle, but I don't trust myself to protect myself with that rifle right now. And in fact, I'm not I'm not good at all with that 9mm handgun, which is irritating, but it's better to have something than nothing in a throw it in and fuck around bag. The two firearms I'm good with. I'm very good with my elite. Not competitive good, but comfortable. I can consistently hit chest-sized targets at about 20 yards, which is not under pressure, which is not moving. But again, I shoot that thing, or I haven't shot much lately. Dumb me. Use it or lose it, but at the same time, boxing, I think I've been in one real fight in my entire life that had nothing to do with boxing. Not a good boxer, but instinctively, whenever anything happens, whenever anything makes me jump, my hands go up. So I'm sure training helps more than you think it does. At least that's what I'm banking on. And I really love that gun. I don't see a situation ever in which I'll sell it. I have a chest rig for... I mean, I have a waistband holster for it. I also have a chest rig for it. I have my nice, not fucking around super bullets. Although, I don't train with those either because the range I like using, I'm not allowed to shoot those sorts of bullets in it. Which is why this is a dirty, shameful secret of mine. I actually don't carry super, but I love the USP. I love 45. I love my elite, and I feel like God or Venus or Ares or Kratos is with me when I'm shooting it. I feel very comfortable and in the zone shooting it. Now, for rifles or carbines, what I've pivoted to is interesting, and I'm a little agitated with myself. I haven't updated my plate carrier for this, but the Sub 2000 in 5.7, Keltec gun. I love Keltec. The dude from 4chan years ago at this point liked Keltec too. And that was one of my, well, the 9mm one was one of my dream guns. Movie guns, I didn't buy it thinking practically. I just wanted it because it was cool. And you look at it and you hear about it and look at where it appears and you assume it's this Cold War or out of date, hard to get grail gun, but no, you can pick one up for about $400. Where I got obsessed with it was in Payday 2, in which it's called the Cavity 9. It also makes an appearance in Cruelty Squad. I forget what they call it in that game, but it's the gun, well, you can look it up, Keltec Sub 2000, but it's a tube, kinda, or a little box, with one stick underneath it, and that's the gun. And it folds up. The design is really cool. I like the ergonomics. I've always loved the Uzi, long magazine into the palm thing. You can also HK slap it, which is nifty. And it's funny because while the folding is useful, the Gen 3 model, it doesn't fold straight back. Now it folds more, like it twists, so you can get more attachments on there, you can get optics on there without a bunch of hassle. But now when it folds, if you have it kitted, it doesn't save that much space. So it kind of defeats the purpose, but it's still just cool to have a folding gun. We'll talk more about folding guns in a little bit. Anyway, the way I have mine set up, I have the Magpul backup sights. I don't have any actual optics on it. Again, dumb me. It's frustrating because this is this is, for all intents and purposes, my go-to practical rifle now. But I have it set up more like a toy. I have a Tommy gun foregrip on it. I have the worst sling imaginable on it, which is the sling that comes from Keltec. And I have mostly 20 round magazines because I don't trust the way the 30 round magazines seat. But still, for that low of a profile, that's a lower profile than you would get with the 9mm version. And I have mixed feelings on 5.7. I don't feel like God has touched this bullet in any way. Yet, you look at gel tests and expand your mind with physics and mathematics, and you realize the bullet is pretty dangerous, especially out of a carbine, because it's moving so fast. And the bullet was designed to penetrate armor, which is what it's touted for, but apparently, well, not apparently, literally, that bullet was designed to penetrate armor that's not really a big deal anymore. Modern armor is better. And the ammunition you'd be using to penetrate that lower quality armor, you, dirty civilian, can't get your hands on. Nonetheless, full metal jackets, it's interesting. The full metal jackets seem to be more dangerous than the hollow points. Because the hollow points, it's moving so fast and it's such a small bullet, they don't always expand. But the idea is to dump, or to be moving so fast, even though it's a small thing. You've seen those simulations in which you throw a cue ball at the Earth at light speed and the Earth explodes. That's the idea. And from what I've seen, that's what it does. I would prefer to have it in 45. I would actually prefer to have it in 10mm. When I bought the 5.7, they weren't making a 10mm, and then they made a 10mm, and now I'm just stuck with the 5.7, which I don't hate. If 45 is God's caliber, then 10mm is anime God's caliber, Venus's caliber. 5.7 will do. And the other thing to consider with 5.7 is how much ammunition you can carry around in small volume. That's one of the main appeals for it for me, which is why I haven't, or one of the reasons I haven't swapped over to 10 or something. I like how much ammunition you can carry in a very small package. And again, out of a carbine, I haven't ever shot 5.7 out of a handgun. There is almost no recoil. And I don't even have the anti-recoil charging handle. So I can ding 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 targets, no problem. And in a fun but also sort of irritating way, I would really like it if I could shoot my 9mm well, but I can't. And I don't know why. It's not the low left thing, but the bullets just go all over the place. I have no idea what's going on with that. The 5.7, I can shoot really well for absolutely no reason. So the idea with swapping emotionally to this sub 2000 and 5.7 as my primary rifle, bunch of ideas behind that. One, if you need to go somewhere quick with a lot of ammunition, you can. It's also much lighter. That PTR, well, actually no. I went on a nice long hiking trip with my Keltec, and that thing got heavy. Faster than you'd think it would. I could not imagine lugging around or trying to lug around the PTR. I'm glad I have it. It's if you're sitting in place, great gun. If you need to be on the move, not so great. The rifle is heavy, the magazines are heavy, the ammunition is heavy, everything is heavy, heavy, heavy. And it'll be even heavier when you're moving. The sub 2000, it gets heavy when you're moving, but it's not that bad. It's also easier to conceal. And then the last thing, the last time we talked guns, someone mistook the survival rifle I was talking about with the AR-7. That's not what I was talking about. It's an M6 takedown. The 22 410 over-under with the ammunition rack in the stock. And you can paracord yours up, although I haven't paracorded up mine. That's the other folding gun. Maybe I just have a thing for folding firearms. I like having a little gun that can hunt vermin, can hunt birds, really light, really small, pretty accurate. And this is a gun I've had forever. In fact, I was right, it's not an M6 Takedown. I've always called it in my mind an M6 Scout, and that's because it was originally called the M6 Scout. The M6 Scout was discontinued, and the Takedown was the new version. Anyway, that's about as much self-soothing as I think we're going to do in this video. I wanted to go girl mode. I was prepared for the girl arc, and we may still go in that direction. You'll notice, or maybe you won't notice, I'm not so freaked out I'm blowing my savings on this shit. Still haven't touched my savings account. Thank God. But I am freaked out a little bit. We will see what arc we end up going into. I am hesitantly opening up the Discord server, link in the pinned comment. And remember, this is not something I would like to do exactly, because I think we've tried to do Discord servers 2 times in the past, and both of those were total disasters. I don't see myself using this very often. Mainly, this is for woman infrastructure, and also for people, only for people I would want to interact with semi-regularly, or at least to have access to. So, fair warning, if you think you would annoy me, probably don't join. I won't be using it much, but we'll see what happens. If not a community per se, then rather a place people can help one another stay updated on crazy times shit, or money shit, or what have you. Strongly considering adding a porn channel. We will see what happens. It's getting weird. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't.